seat, please. Alright, take the seat, please. I'll come round. Where are you going?
Friday, March 1st marks the last day of continuous Routemaster service here in London. Having first appeared on the roads in September 1954, they were in active revenue service for 51 years before being retired on the Routes 159 on December 9th, 2005, citing old age, inefficient engines and spare parts now being much harder to obtain. Being an icon of London, Transport for London set up 2 heritage routes in November 2005 for the remaining Routemasters to go on, 9H and 15H. These would mirror current London routes, albeit a shorter version of them, and only ran between 9:30 AM and 6:30 PM. While the Routes 9 was withdrawn on July 25th, 2014, the 15 managed to survive a little longer on London's roads up until now. The withdrawal of the 15 also means that this will be the end of 107 years of continuous AEC service in London too. In 1908, LGOC merged with 2 of its main rivals, the London Motor Omnibus Co Limited, commonly trading as Vanguard, and London Road Car Company Limited to form Associated Equipment Company, or AEC. They released their first bus, the LGOC X-Type, in 1909, and this was soon followed by the very popular LGOC B-Type 2 years later. The manufacturing part of LGOC became AEC in June 1912 and lasted until the company were acquired by British Leyland in 1962 and the manufacturing portion to Volvo in 1979. Having never ridden a London Routemaster before, and upon hearing the news that these were to be taken out of service, I decided to head to Trafalgar Square after work and take a ride on one of the last ever ones. The bus I rode on was AEC Routemaster RM1968 with the registration number ALD968B. Built in 1964, it was in service until 1986, where it was then sold to the Hampshire Bus and then Magic Bus Company before ending up in the hands of Stagecoach in 1990. 4 years later, it moved to Bluebird Buses in Manchester before it returns to London in 2001 to go on the Route 38. The route itself, 15, runs from Trafalgar Square to Tower Hill via St Paul's Cathedral, with a bus every 20 minutes. This usually takes around half an hour to complete, but in my case, being stuck in London's rush hour, it was more like 45 from start to finish. On the Routemaster, it was a fairly calm ride, albeit a little bumpy, with the seats being a lot spongier when compared to modern buses, and also the suspension being a little softer than most, but otherwise it was very comfy. At only 27.6 feet or 8.38 metres long, it is very small when compared to most modern buses, and therefore holds less passengers. The Routemaster was also famed for its open door, hop on hop off nature, meaning that there was no rear door at the back, and when it was in service, passengers could board and disembark as they please. It was also interesting to see the driver sitting in different compartments of the bus, with the cab being separated from the passengers right at the front. The fact that the Routemaster is also a front engined bus meant that the area next to the driver is punched in, and the passengers sit behind it. This did however mean that visibility as a whole for the driver was much greater with no obstructions on either side. The downside to this, however, was that along the length of the bus, it could only hold either 57 to 72 people while seated. When compared to a modern Gemini 3, which can hold 90 seating with many more standing, this is very small. My journey, however, was only to be short, only covering a small part of the 15 line, so at the end of the service to announce people to deboard, the cabin lights started flashing and we were instructed to leave the bus, with a scheduled 15 just behind for us to continue our journey. And so with that, the last time a Routemaster will run in continuous service in London. I, on the other hand, must now catch a new Routemaster to continue on my journey.